For much of the 20th century, Cahir stood at two busy national roadways, the Cork to Dublin N8 and the Limerick to Waterford N24 still left the town badly congested. However, until October 2007, when this road was also realigned to bypass Cahir to the north and the east. The same road improvement scheme saw major changes to the N8 corridor. A new motorway, the M8, was constructed west of the town between 2006 and 2008. The name Cahir, or An Cahir, translates as Stone Ring Fort, while Cahir Dún Uiscigh means the town of the fort of the fishery. Cahir Abbey was established in the late 12th century. For much of its history, the town of Cahir has been influenced by the Butler family. It was from this family that the first barons of Cahir were created. Cahir was known for much of its history as being a defence town. Cahir, together with Clonmel, were the centres in South Tipperary of the Quaker population, which culminated in the construction of a meeting house in Abbey Street in 1833. Cahir was one of the first towns to be linked by stagecoach in the 19th century, when Charles Bianconi commenced services between Clonmel, Cahir and Cashel. The building at the square, where the Galtee Inn is now sited, was the stopping point in the town for Bianconi's coaches. The Swiss Cottage can be accessed via Coronation Walk, named for George IV in 1821. The walk runs from Cahir Castle down along by the River Suir for 4 kilometres. The Swiss Cottage was built around 1810 and is a fine example of cottage ornate. The cottage was originally part of the estate of Lord and Lady Cahir and was used for entertaining guests. The cottage was probably designed by the architect John Nash, famous for designing many Regency buildings. Cahir Castle, which is situated on a small island in the River Suir, is the town's main tourist attraction. The castle, one of the largest in Ireland, and was built around 1142 by Conor O'Brien, Prince of Thomond. The castle was sited on or near an earlier native fortification known as on Cahir, or stone fort, which gave its name to the place. The core structure of the castle dates to construction in the 13th century by the O'Brien family. The castle was built in two parts, with the side now facing the street being built 200 years before the side now housing the audio-visual show. Granted to the powerful Butler family in the late 14th century, the castle was enlarged and remodeled between the 15th and the 17th centuries. In 1375, the castle was granted to James Butler, newly created Earl of Desmond, for his loyalty to Edward III. His son James, the second Earl by his second marriage, passed the lands around the barony of Alepha and Offa West to his children, though they were not themselves noble. This changed by 1542, when the first of the Barons of Cahir was created. Unlike their Anglican kinsmen, this branch of the Butler dynasty sided with the Roman Catholic Irish in the Elizabethan Wars. In 1599, the castle was captured after a 3-day siege by the army of the Earl of Essex, and was for a year put under the charge of Sir Charles Blount. Lord Cahir joined with the Earl of Tyrone in 1601 and was attainted for treason, but later obtained a full pardon. In 1627, the castle was the scene of a celebrated killing when Cahir's son-in-law, Lord Dunboyne, murdered his distant cousin, James Prendergast, in a dispute over an inheritance. He was tried for the killing, but acquitted. During the Irish Confederate Wars, the castle was besieged twice. In 1647, George Matthew, the guardian of the young Lord Cahir, surrendered to Murragh O'Brien, the 6th Baron Inchiquin, later 1st Earl, and a descendant of Cahir's builder, following his victory at the Battle of Knockenouse. In 1650, he surrendered again to Oliver Cromwell during his conquest of Ireland, without a shot even being fired. In 1961, the last Lord Cahir died and the castle reverted to the Irish estate. In the late 20th century, the castle was named a national monument and is now managed by the Office of Public Works. In 1981, the castle was used for a battle scene in the film Excalibur. In 1998, the site was used for Saban's Mystic Nights of Tir na Nog on Fox Kids TV channel. The castle has also been used as a location for the TV series The Tudors.